As he drew near to Jericho, a blind man was sitting by the roadside begging. And hearing a crowd going by, he inquired what this meant. They told him, Jesus of Nazareth is passing by. And he cried out, Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. And those who were in front rebuked him, telling him to be silent. But he cried out all the more, Son of David, have mercy on me. And Jesus stopped and commanded him to be brought to him. And when he came near, he asked him, what do you want me to do for you? He said, Lord, let me recover my sight. And Jesus said to him, recover your sight. Your faith has made you well. And immediately he recovered his sight and followed him, glorifying God. And all the people, when they saw it, gave praise to God. Grass withers and flower fades. The word of our God stands forever. A few days ago, actually a little over a week ago, I did something with the city of Bristol, where I went. Actually, they did it in Kingsport as well. They did it in Washington County. They did it all over the place. But I went around with a group of folks with surveys, and we started off at the Salvation Army in Bristol on Thursday night. Sorry, it wasn't a Thursday night. It was a Wednesday afternoon and Thursday morning, and we interviewed as many as the people that were there, asking them a list of questions, and we gave them a goodie bag. And then the next day, Wednesday, we met folks there that were coming in for breakfast or some that spent the night, and we asked them a few questions about their lives, about why they were there, how long they had sort of been on the street, how much time they'd spent on the street, how much time they had been gone to the hospital, how many times they'd gone in the past year, how many times they'd been arrested. We asked them their stories, like, how did you get here? How did you get to Bristol? How did you get to Kingsport? Some of them were from here, but a lot of them were traveling through. And how long have you been homeless? What led to this? An addiction, abuse, whatever it was. And after that, we left the Salvation Army, and we went around Bristol, just like you could here in Kingsport and different parts of Sullivan County, and we found homeless camps. Places where the homeless basically will build like little shelters. They'll find tents, or they'll find tarpaulins or something, and they'll create these places to live. They'll find all kinds of whatever you throw away. They'll find it. They'll bring it. So that one of the camps that we went through, I had a picture I was going to show you, and you'll find that actually taken tinsel. And they hung it on a tree so you could see where they had their Christmas tree outside. And then they had old pots and pans, and they've been living there for a while. So you can imagine it wasn't exactly, an LL Bean camping site, an REI camping site. It was rough. It was hard to see. And those places, at least in Bristol, here in Kingsport as well, they're right in town. They're within walking distance of the Salvation Army or any kind of services. Like you may not even see them from the street, but they're not hard to find where people are living. Sometimes in community with each other, but homeless nevertheless. And one of the things that struck me in that whole thing is when you walk through those places. When we were there, most of the people were gone, and which meant they were somewhere in town. They weren't there that morning. They were somewhere in town. We'd probably already talked to them. So imagine living in that kind of a condition, right? What you have to rely on, what you need. And walking away, when you leave your house, what do? What's that? You lock the door, right?
Yeah.
And everything that you have is there. And you secure it. You make sure that it's fine. You make sure that it's going to be okay. Well, imagine if you were homeless and everything that you owned was in that tent and walking away from that tent. Imagine